Okay. Hello and welcome to the channel. This is your first time tuning into the channel. This is not the first time we've played Frostpunk 2 on the channel, but it is the most recent event of us playing it, and I think it was back in like 1.0 when we played Frostpunk 2. So they've revamped major systems in the game, including the heat system. So I'm not going to turn the difficulty up to max because I haven't even learned the new system. I'm going to turn the difficulty up relatively high, given that I don't know the new system. So things may go horribly wrong. We are going to play the campaign, which kind of serves as the tutorial for Utopia 1 here in Frostpunk 2. Or at least it did the last time I played. I am streaming this live to Twitch under the username willcall100 and uploading the local recording to YouTube under the username, or streaming to Twitch under the username willcall. Sorry, no 100 on the Twitch. And then uploading to YouTube under the username willcall100. So with this, let's going to hop into the campaign here, which is stories. I do not have the DLC, so I don't have Breach of Trust. Part of how well this goes is going to determine if I go ahead and pick up the DLC for later streams. But today we're doing the main scenario, which is the Legacy of New London. And we're going to do a new story. We're going to start all the way over from the beginning. It's like, oh, we're here in the Dreams of Utopia. We've been in the main campaign before a long time, so new story. Yeah, we'll let the tutorial pop-ups pop up. I'm going to do Stewart, which is the 3 of the 4 main difficulties. Back before things happened, I was doing Captain difficulty occasionally. So at least the old system I knew how to do. And I do like Octopods, so we're going to leave that as is. Okay. Let's hit start. I'm expecting there to be a opening video here. I'll go silent for the opening video for those who have not seen it yet. Hopefully it isn't spoilers for people. The game's been out for a year at this point, I think.
Stewart.
Captain.
Can you hear us?
Captain!
Captain!
Do you hear us?
A generation ago, we fled the crumbling British Empire as the world froze around us. I held New London together. United, we survived 30 years of whiteouts. But the world around us is dead. Empty.
Ripe for taking. The city grows, festers. Merely surviving is not enough. We have to expand. After all, it's us who survived the end of the world. It's us who survived.
Yes. Now what?
So without a little bit of flavor for what's going to be coming up when we get to the main quest.
Isn't much further. Almost there.
So for the prologue here, we have the Wanderers. We've been roaming the frozen desert for years. Many of us do not remember a world before the Great Frost. Now another whiteout is coming. Again, we reach the old machine. Again, we will rely on its furnace to provide heat through the storm. In the past, we always made sure there was enough supplies for the next whiteout. But our numbers have grown through the years. Providing for everyone is getting harder and harder. We are the first to arrive, more will be joining. Will we weather the storm as one? We must survive. So this is basically the tutorial level. We're basically playing in an area where we'll come in the main campaign. I think it's chapter 2 when we rediscover this area. So spoilers for those who don't know how the main campaign goes, but this sort of prologue area serves as a tutorial. So we have a sort of pseudo generator here in the form of an old dreadnought land ship that got stranded over this crevice. Fighting the cold. Welcome to the prologue. It will teach you the basics you need for what lies ahead. The old dreadnought remains in pieces under the layers of snow, but the scattered wagons still have resources inside. First, we must break the ice to reach one of the old oil wagons and construct an excavation district to use it. Then we can turn on the dreadnought's furnace to heat us, and those will inevitably join us later. We will restart the furnace. Now, I'm going to start off by pausing, because pausable real-time games, that tends to be what I do. So we are going to turn this on as soon as we have fuel. We don't actually start with fuel. Okay. So first thing it's going to say, hey, we're going to need to break some ice to get to the fuel. I suppose we can frost break over to the second one as well. Or do I want to do this double wide? Let's do this double wide. Okay. Gonna be a first frost break. I think I have enough crew to do a double frost break. I gotta start working probably towards the... Work towards the supplies or the food? And right now we've only have frost breaking, so it's costing us 40 work crews and 3 supplies, I think per tile. I remember correctly. Or if I'm understanding the mechanic correctly. Yeah. More workforce, the more we clear. That'll get us to that farming district as well. I think the districts in this one are only 1 tile each. Go and run both those frost breakings before we move on to the next thing. So we'll get both of those done. This one we can put the extraction district on for the oil that we need to warm up. The other one we can do some early food. Mortality is stable, but probably will change unless we can get the people housed and the be on constructing districts. So now it's reminding me on how to construct districts. Probably should turn the pop-up tutorials. I know the tutorial's enough. Actually, no, I'll leave the tutorials on until it gets to the heat mechanics, because I don't know the new heat mechanics. We're going to build an extraction district next, so we'll pause so we can take the time to look at that. Housing district, food district, extraction district. We will need an extraction district. And here in the tutorial, there are but 3 tiles. I believe they are bigger in the main cities, but here there are only 3. So we'll do the extraction district. And I think we want to probably start on housing while I'm thinking about it. It's going to take 100 workforce to build. Provide shelter for 15. We currently only need shelter for 9. People need shelter from the cold, yet walls and roofs will be a little help if the temperature remains frigid within them. Building housing districts next to heat sources to increase the temperature level. 4 will grant an additional level, but every tile counts. Yes. Is there enough space next to this one? No, so in the old version with the old heat mechanics, it was 3 next to it, so you get 3 getting the adjacency bonus off of it. Here, there is not enough space, so that gives me the heat bonus, but I will not have it for the next one. Okay, and I still have 40 workforce. Can I get the food district going as well. Again, in the tutorial level here, it is a 3-tile building. Yes. And I still have 200 people to do frost breaking with. Let's frost break towards the prefabs. So this is another one where they changed it. It used to be a fixed cost for the frost break. Now it scales with how much you're clearing, which is a perfectly reasonable way to do that. No complaints there. Here we go. Once again, we're going to unpause and let those build. The frost breaking of those is actually, I think, the fastest, but it'll finish first. And I'll probably just assign it to a different frost break, or maybe I'll check to see what it takes to build the supply depot. The extraction depot and the supplies. 200 workforce. Okay, so I could do that as well. Let's get that down. We got a Twitch chat come in. Welcome back. I gather you finished Old World Run for Frostpunk 2. You approached this differently, or rather more, because it's been a while. Yeah, we finished the Old World Run earlier today. Which means if you're watching this on YouTube, it should already be fully posted to YouTube. Anyway, we won both ways. We won both Ambition and Victory Score. For Frostpunk 2, you're approaching this differently, or rather more, because it's been a while. I'm approaching this on Steward difficulty because I have not experienced the new heat mechanics. I was thinking about coming back to it when they introduced it, and then there was other stuff to do, and I ended up doing the other stuff. So we're not doing max difficulty here just because I don't know how hard max difficulty is with the new heat mechanics. But yeah, let me continue with the tutorial here. I'm getting a little distracted trying to respond to comments. But yeah, if you've got more comments, feel free to read them or type them up, and I'll try to respond to them. So pausing again. So we've got an event here. Oil. As the thick black liquid oozes through the pipes, our people rejoice. The carcass of this old machine is a testament to the hardships that made us. But more importantly, it is our haven in the storm. It has allowed us to weather many whiteouts, and it will do so again. We have oil we can turn on the furnace. Since the Dreadnought Wreck, select the Dreadnought Wreck to access the furnace controls. Once turned on, the Dreadnought furnace will automatically convert oil to heat. Here in the tutorial, we have a furnace that only burns heat. When we get into Chapter 1, we'll actually start with a furnace that only burns coal. There's a couple different furnaces you can get. Most of the time, the furnaces... It depends, actually, I suppose, your policies. We'll get into it. I might not actually know the up-to-date stuff. So we'll turn the generator on. Allocating 20 heat. We have 40 unallocated heat. Okay. Increase the heat allocation by 1 to all districts in the temperature below livable. Allocate all heat. Okay, so you're livable. -1 from weather, +1 from proximity, so I don't need to do any necessary extra to help you. Yet, is my understanding. And then you probably want some heat. Yeah, chilly, we can take you to livable, sure. And then the same over here, we'll take you to livable. That should prevent any weather-related disease loss. And with that, I think we want to get back to breaking out some districts with frost break. Gonna move towards this extra oil down here in case I need more oil extraction. Oh, I forget, those require workforce to work, so we actually will probably want to wait until we get some more workforce in. Okay, which we should be having soon. There we go. Provide basic infrastructure. The furnace is on, we have enough oil to cover current needs, but the cold will still affect our people until they have proper shelter. Housing will best protect us from the cold if built in close proximity to the furnace. However, we will need prefabricated parts for construction. We brought some with us. The rest will be needed extracted from the wagon wreckage. I see. And, spoilers, we did that. Okay, so it's telling us to go activate that thing. That's what we're working on. We did the other 2 steps in that quest. Fair enough. I could do a little bit of I could do like 1 tile frostpunking because we do have 50 workforce, but we're going to wait until this is done. And I think the quest advancing should give us more workforce. Gain access to food. We have secured heat and shelter for the time being. We'll need more when the others arrive, but for now we must turn our attention to the incoming whiteout. First, we must frostbake to a small patch of fertile soil suitable for growing food. Then we must store it in easily accessible depots. We must move quickly so no one starves. Spoiler alert, we did that already. Prepare for the whiteout. We have secured our immediate survival. Now we must stockpile as much food as we can before the whiteout forces us to take shelter. To do that, we need to produce more food than our current demand. With the second group of wanderers spotted over the horizon, we must act quickly. We must be ready. The arrival.
Keep calm. Rushing about. One town.
Incoming Whitehound. Second group of wanderers has arrived, as expected, though they bring with them foul portents. The frost speaks with a clear voice. The signs are there, one of the elders urges. The whiteout follows fast on our heels. We have little time left. We must gather enough food for everyone. We must survive. Stockpile enough food to survive the whiteout in 90 weeks. Provide enough heat and shelter for the incoming wanderers. We must prepare. So we're eating into our stockpile. So right now it's telling us, hey, we are not making enough food. We need time until whiteout 90 weeks. We got 90 weeks to make food for 30. There's a couple different ways to do this. We're going to get some events that come on in here that I'm probably going to pass up on because I think we can do it without doing the events. That will lower that requirement. Basically, I think one of them is send the elders off. I don't think we need to do that. But yeah. We need housing, we need warmth, we need more food. Right now I've got stuff for extraction depot. I'm actually short on prefabs, but we are gathering that already, so I'm not too worried. First, I think we're going to open up with some frost breaking in preparation potentially for another housing area. There we go. And a fuel area. Anyway, still got a decent amount of workforce. We're going to start frost breaking towards the next food source. I want to frost break towards those materials. I suppose we do both. Okay. So let's have that finish up. Okay, we've spent 2 weeks doing that frost breaking. I have access to more oil. I don't need it right now, but I wanted that access for when we do. I need more prefabs to build the food district. Okay. So in the meantime, I'm going to keep frost breaking. Technically, this is costing me prefabs, which would be the concern, I suppose, going forward with this. And the other thing I want to get down is housing and yeah, depends on the unwilling deposit. So I get oil there, but that's not what we want. And you're making prefabs. At the moment, I have a food stockpile hub that we can pick up. We don't need that yet. We're not making food. I need, 39 more prefabs. So maybe I should hold off on spending prefabs right away. Materials are scarce. Given the fact that I'm prefab broke, I think we're going to go for that extra prefab extractor. And then hopefully we can get the food up next. We are, because of the food shortage, I think we're getting some health negatives from that. Again, time is moving. I'm sort of caught in the catch-22 of I want to deal with the negative problems right away, but I also kind of need to rush to getting access to the food supplies I need. Okay, so we've got 150. I have enough to get another food extractor down. Okay. And I think I have enough heat to properly heat this district. Yeah. Starts heated because the generator is on. Okay. Hunger, squalor, driving up health and healthiness. Food scarcity, driving up hunger. Material scarcity, driving up squalor. Okay, so we've got an event. Pouring soil in his hands. We've been here so many times, the soil is depleted. Each year, there's more of us and less of the earth. We're running out of fertile soil. One day, there will be nothing to grow food on. You may not be able to make it through without sacrifice. I could do with less if it means more of us make it through alive. We may not be able to fill the food stockpiles with exceptional measures. Consider asking the Wanderers to tighten belts or to instill emergency shifts in the food district. So it's teaching me how to activate district abilities, and I suppose this is a circumstance where it might actually make sense. The could do emergency shift. The opinion here doesn't matter much, so we'll go ahead and improve. Well, actually, that probably won't be enough to bring us to positive right now. So we won't worry until we get the second food district up. Should hopefully bring us closer to food positive. There we go. So now it makes sense. Do emergency shift for extra food being produced. And emergency shift, extra food being produced. We're still not going to make our target. We're running too slow. And then we can ask the Wanderers to also tighten their belts. Make hunger worse temporarily, but we'll stockpile more food. Then the next thing I want to do is I think we'll try to get some housing in. Deal a little bit with the squalor. Oh, and do I have the prefabs for more breaking? I need to get to the remaining farming locations. SAP. Okay, that'll work for that one. Better 2 meals a day now than no meals a day later, yes. People are freezing. Our workers and Frostpunk crews have begun to suffer from exposure to low temperature. They're asking us to provide heating before the cold takes further toll. We know we need to bring in as much food as possible for the Whiteout, one elder said, but we can't just let people freeze in the meantime. So I can promise to fulfill the need for housing for the workers and fuel for our heaters, or persevere, which is pissing them off. We'll agree to this. We're allocating enough heat. They want more housing districts. So specifically, they want 3. Okay. So I will have to build a 3rd within a period of time. A little bit more aggressive. 34 weeks versus 76. Again, we're not on target yet to make that food requirement. So we are rushing. Although getting the 3rd housing district down, I think, is going to be too hard. Okay, so the frost breaking's done. Let's get another... need more those supplies. Don't really have more trust to spend. I'll make it go faster. Weakened workforce. Ensure the district temperature levels remain cold to keep your people good health. So here it is, trying to come in and teach me mechanics. When a district's temperature level falls below, problems arise. The severity and types of issues depend on how far the level drops and the district's type. Raise the district level temperature level, you can open the district's temple. Yeah. So we're going to see that everything is at livable, which is good enough for the mod. The big problem here I have is actually inadequate housing, which is what we're working on. Yeah, what I will likely need to do is I will need to develop that next fuel source. First, next food district. I think after the housing district is done and that food district is done, I'll be at oil equals need. Yeah, so U8, 10 oil to get livable, that's fine. That will reduce the cold. And then I will need another oil district to keep expanding. So I need to wait for a few more prefabs. I think we need to wait for another week to tick over. We'll go up to speed 2. Here we are. Extraction district on that oil. That's why we had expanded towards the oil earlier. Maybe it was a little aggressive getting out there. People died and got injured during emergency shifts due in the old dreadnought. Bit of a shame. Custom relations fall every time people die. Into the black. You mourn those who have recently passed. As is our custom, we take them to the oil pits. We gently lower their bodies into thick blackness. The fuel that keeps us warm in life likewise preserves us in death. But death also erodes trust in our leaders. Without trust, there is no future. Okay, we are gathering more food. We will have enough food in 80 weeks. We have 69 to go. So we're still not going fast enough. And these applications to emergency shift... Oh, I suppose it might be... I'm not sure if this is a toggle or if I'm still on active run from them. I think they're temporary. I think they will go away. So we're not going fast enough yet. And we still don't have enough housing. The question here is, do I start carving or do I try to get housing? I think I will sort the housing problem first. I need to get up to 140 materials, so that's that. Now we can build the 3rd and final housing district for the prologue. So that will house everyone. plenty of fuel. The next step here is probably going to be ice breaking, frost breaking to the remaining 2 food sources. Okay, so that gets us to that one. Oops. And I don't have enough teams, because we had people die, to do the second one. Everyone is warm. Good work. Our people are now less cold and can turn their focus onto stockpiling food for the Whiteout. And remember, those prefabs, they're going to run out. They're not infinite supplies. We're in a post-apocalyptic world. Resources are finite. Okay, so that'll be all the food sources. That one's already broken out. I'm going to actually turn down the number of people assigned here. Here we go, because I don't need them for housing that number of people. And I do a little bit more frost breaking. Yeah, pretty much no. I'm also going to need a food stockpile at some point. Sure, that makes sense. Let's get 1 food stockpile in. So we have enough capacity to store everything. You can see we are already halfway full on food, and that is not enough food storage. 10k is not. The cracking is done. Gonna need another food district. Keep the tempo that I need. So with that district, with the storage done, we now have enough storage. We have exactly the right amount of storage with that. So it may be tempting to build another one at some point. Do I have the workers? I need 200 workers to work the last food location. Probably we can turn the oil production down a little bit. Yeah, that gets me 200. I can work all the food that way. No, I do need the prefabs. There's the prefabs. There is a seal colony down here. If I had ignored it, we would have had an event bringing up, should we or should we not harvest the seals? You can complete the main quest here without harvesting the seals, although it's very tight to do so. And you can see that even the food stockpiles are finite. We are running out here. We've got resource deposits nearly depleted. It will run out in 18 weeks. So we won't have the stockpile full in that amount of time. Same sort of logic over there with that prefab location. Against the element squalor. Each day the wind grows fiercer. Relentless, it beats against our buildings, weakening our structures gust by gust. Without raw materials to repair the damage, our districts will deteriorate. If we build, the more materials we'll need. The more we build, the more materials we need. This is the world we know. We will use them shore for districts. We must move quickly, or some districts will be disabled. All that matters right now is gathering enough food. We'll say we'll use them to shore for districts. So I need to build an extraction district on a maintenance wagon. Extract enough materials to satisfy our district needs. Okay. So we'll do that as soon as you run out of prefabs in 2 weeks, which will give us workforce to go do other things. And it is about to get colder. District demolition. You can deconstruct a district built on a depleted deposit to recycle resources. Standard. You can delete things you don't need anymore. You get some recycle value back. So I get 53 prefabs back from you. Okay, so we're gonna frost break towards the materials because we've worked out that we need some materials. Food stockpile will be ready in 20 weeks. Has become colder. And at the current rate, we're not actually producing enough to keep everything warm and livable, so we will potentially have some bad stuff happen. Workers occasionally fall ill because we can only keep places chilly. Oh, and I've now broke to it. Do I have the workers for it? Yes. Start extracting those materials. I suppose I do have some surplus heat. My knees ache, my fingers are so stiff, I can't hold the needle anymore. Some people are ready to sacrifice themselves to lower the food requirement. I do not think we need that. This is the tutorial, after all. Let's warm you up to livable, as well as you. I don't have enough fuel with the current workforce to go any higher than that. Requires more workforce I don't have yet. Still on target to get that stockpile full, 14 weeks. Although the rate is going to slow down. We worked out, you've got 6 weeks left, so our rate's going to slow down in 6. Okay, and you are empty, so we disassemble you. And we do some frost break and get the materials covered for maintenance. Oh, we got a district damaged. That's one of the reasons I need to get the materials sorted. Costs us materials to fix. Emergency shift in the old dreadnought, so that's why I want to bring the emergency shift to close. And that ate some of my workforce. Let's pause for the moment. I need to hire workforce from someplace. Let's put you back down to chilling, so I can steal it from the fuel. Yeah, that should be enough for me to get the materials. You run out in 3 days. And there you are, empty. So now we can disassemble you. You also freed up workforce. You'll have enough food in 9 weeks. Even with that district gone, you will last 12, so I will just about have the food requirement. We'll put that spare freed up workforce up on you. So we have more heat, so I can heat my housing districts. And the... well, that'll be fine, yeah. Because this one's going to want heat over here as well when it finishes. we go. Enough materials. Relations improve, causing trust to rise. I'm going to turn the workforce here down to just running. So that keeps us good. We will do frost breaking to get a little bit more fuel. Again, this is the tutorial mission, so even on Steward difficulty, it is not that hard. Okay. And then we will do extraction district with that oil deposit. Which will probably require us to have a little bit more materials to support, so we'll probably have to turn the materials extraction district up a bit. Yeah, the moment all problems except for the cold should be going away. I don't know if the prologue here ends as soon as we've stockpiled the food. It might. I might not technically have time to perfect the starting city. We did it. We secured enough food to survive the incoming whiteout. Our workers will make some last-minute preparations before the storm arrives. We should try and keep our people warm for this time. Okay, so it doesn't end immediately. I've got 26 weeks. And I presumably need to keep food at 4,000 above for that duration. Yes, I'm going to need a little bit more workforce on you. And we need to keep the food up. And we probably want to warm places up about as best as we can. And we are kind of saying that we cannot get them perfectly warm everywhere. Well, it'll get a little bit better when this district runs out, because that'll be the one I turn off next. So we're getting pretty close to having this sort of city is warm, food is increasing, sort of stuff going on. I can actually turn overtime off on you. Okay, so that's now a toggle. It's now on or off. You don't have to leave it on, or and at infinitum, I suppose. Yeah, I should just be able to turn the speed up. You're going to run out. That shouldn't be a problem. You running out might be, but the will be over by then. Okay. Yeah, I suppose turning the emergency thing off actually extended your duration. Oh, I guess it's not pulling because we're so close that we don't actually need that food. That's what's going on. Okay. Whiteout is here, and the whiteout prevents food production. And this is the end of the prologue at this point. Against all odds, the Wanderer's survival. With the whiteout, or when the whiteout hit the camp, the Wanderers were ready. Everyone was thankful we acted fast and gathered enough food in time. The miracle of the seal colony strengthened our hope that our journey will lead to a promised land. Our elders have added this to the story of our great tales, alongside warnings about a sinful city that still pumps smoke into the sky. So there was a event. I didn't see the event. That's actually a question. Didn't see the event. I think that's supposed to let you choose between which of the two Frostpunk 1 inspired groups you start with in the next city in Chapter 1. It may have just defaulted whatever my previous one was, but we'll find out in a moment. So that's what it's meaning in reference to warnings about a sinful city. That's that going on. And then the seals is I went ahead and harvested the seals. It was going to throw an event if I hadn't gotten to that earlier, saying should we or should we not harvest the seals. I didn't even let that happen. I was like, yeah, we're harvesting the seals. It doesn't change anything in the main city. We survived the end of the world. Reference to Frostpunk 1. Now what? So what do we do in the post-apocalyptic world here? Following the crack/ravine to the city. Implied to be the city from Frostpunk 1, that at this point has grown too big for the crater it was in. The old captain is dead. New London is weak. Food is low. Overpopulation looms. Coal is running out. People yearn for a future worth dreaming of, but is it the same future for all? Keep the city together. Or hold its hand on its deathbed. Questions. It's fairly easy to keep the city together, at least on the lower difficulties. Although, the game will make you think it's quite hard. So, here, we're going to hit OK to this, but we're going to go ahead and pause on this, and we're going to put the part break in. The coal is running out. The captain is dead, as he weakened, growing divisions brought the city maintenance to a grinding halt. Now, New London is left to suffer the consequences. As steward, it is your charge to lead, but you must prove yourself. The overcrowded city is low on resources. Use this warmer year to build more shelter, secure coal, and power the generator back on. Let us get to work. Okay, so it defaulted to faith. We missed the event where we get asked, do you want, what is the emblem on the scouts' clothing mean, whether it's order, a sign of order, or a sign of faith. I think faith is what we did last time, so it may have just defaulted to faith. So, and next time we're going to be dealing with this event up here. New deposits needed. So we got a Frostpunk to the shallow coal seam and construct an extraction depot. Turn on the generator and construct new housing districts to address the lack of shelter, because the city is overpopulated. It's been a while since Frostpunk 1, and the crater is no longer enough for the 8,000 people that live in the city. So we need to get them some more housing, and we need them some more warmth. And then we need to deal with all the other problems, because Frostpunk 2, or Frostpunk in general, whether it be Frostpunk 1 or Frostpunk 2, is a game about more people, more solutions, but also more problems. We've got more people here, so we've got more problems. And as we find solutions to those problems, we're going to get more people, which means we're going to have more problems, and it's going to be a circle. But here we are, New London. It's apparently 1916. It's not quite time for the oil age, but the oil age is, if you've seen sort of the context, the pretext in some of the intro videos, oil is coming. We're still in the coal age, but the oil is coming. So if you're watching on YouTube, we'll have another part up tomorrow, which will be 40 to 50 minutes here of Chapter 1. If you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. I'm going to take a short break here so I can get up, stretch the legs, sip some tea. Because I think getting the prologue done was probably a good place to put a part break in. And then we'll try to deal with the immediate problems here in New London, which, well, cold will, if this is Frostpunk 1, cold, at least, cold below chilly will very rapidly kill you. So we got to get people housed, and we got to get them to at least chilly, if not livable. You'll see in the last one, like we were managing chilly reasonably well for quite a few districts for a decent period of time. It would be better to have it even be livable. And we can see this game, unlike it did last time we played, very, very directly tracks your death toll. Back in the old days, it didn't really track your death toll, so you had some people die here, some people die there, and you didn't really care because you knew people were dying, but you didn't care because there wasn't a constant death ticker in the background. Now there's a death ticker. You can see how terribly I play, or how well I play, by how many people are dying and what they're dying from. These guys died from overwork in the prologue, so there's 38 dead in the prologue. We'll see how high that number gets by the end of the campaign. But for now, this is where the part break is. If you're watching on YouTube, part tomorrow. Watching on Twitch, catch you all in about 3 minutes. So until the next part, I'm going to wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part and/or stream, and bye for now.